Hello, my Teaserking family. How's everybody today on Sunday, the 14th of August? 2 weeks away from college football, and we start pros on the 11th. So we're like 4 weeks away from the pros. So let's kind of go over things. So we went through the college balanced act yesterday. Balanced offense, strong defense, weak defense, which is basically how you come out with the A to Z teams. And of course, we're trying to take advantage of a strong offense against a weak defense. We don't want to take a strong offense against a strong defense. Not going to do anything. So we're looking for take advantage of weakness, and that's where we make a whole lot of money. So what I did yesterday night was looked at the backup quarterback. Well, whoever played in the preseason game number one. So let's go down the list. I don't really care about the scores because you're third stringers, although I do notice Baltimore apparently has won for the last 5 years every game, and the Lions have lost since 2018 every game. It just shows you like the Lions had a fumble and then gave up a touchdown, and that same thing. That's they're getting ready for the regular season. So let's take a look. Before that, is there problems with PayPal? Because I'm getting customers who are trying to pay and saying, "Well, I don't have a PayPal account," and can I take other forms? And I've used PayPal for years. I don't know if there's a problem. All you need is you don't even need to be a PayPal member, just to have a debit card or credit card, and just pay it. So you don't have to be a PayPal member, I don't believe. But anyway, I do have Venmo, or I guess my last choice is MoneyGram. Just send me a MoneyGram, and I'll run it over to Myers and get the cash, which is what I would do anyway. I'd run over to the bank and get the cash. I actually think Lions don't do terrible in a teaser this year. I know your stance, but they seem to be playing teams closer. Just a second, Nick. So basically, I don't know much about Google Pay or what's the other one? Cash App. I've heard bad stories about Cash App, so I never got into it. I never needed to. I get paid. I use my debit card. I transfer money. So I don't have a use for that. PayPal's been my Teaserking use. I've never had a problem with that. So I don't know what's going on. If things have changed, please let me know if you know anything. Otherwise, if you can't use PayPal, then use Venmo. And if you can't use Venmo, then I guess I'll have to take a MoneyGram. I don't use Western Union. There was a problem with them a couple years ago, so I don't. I use MoneyGram, and I think you can do it online. Just use my email that you get on the site, and I should get an email that I've gotten money in, and then off we go, and then I'll send the password for you that way. But I don't know what's wrong with PayPal. I use it. I send it out to my friends, so I don't know. But please let me know if you've heard anything. Otherwise, PayPal should work fine. Nick, well, again, it all depends on who they're playing and the matchup and the point spread. If the game's even, I'm not going to bet the Lions to win. Again, I don't think they'll win more than 3 games. Jared Goff's a choke, as we know. Otherwise, why would the Rams have gotten rid of him? He's 10 years younger than Stafford. He wouldn't have won the Super Bowl. He was in the Super Bowl, and he choked. So Jared Goff's not a good quarterback. I wouldn't be betting on him. Their defense sucks, and we'll see about their running game, but they don't have receivers. They don't have a good coach. See, the key is the coach is who the hell is he? And until he proves that he's a good coach. So it's who are you betting on? And that's the real question. So the Lions, that's where I go to the statistics, and they're much better to bet against than to bet on. But we'll see. I mean, Nick, if we find situations we want to take the line, maybe against the Bears at home, The Vikings, we do it. But generally against the Vikings own them. The Packers own them. The Bears beat them in Chicago. So you have those trends already there. And then we'll have to see the rest of their schedule. But it's hard to say. And then the one thing about the Lions is all these guys cry and get injured. Every one of them gets injured. The only one that didn't was Barry Sanders. But they'll all start laying down, and I'm injured. He's out. I just don't think they want to play. I think they draft bad players who don't want to play. Hutchinson, give him 2 games, he'll hurt something and be out for the year. And then they'll rest the running back. They don't want to risk injury. I mean, what'd you draft him for? I mean, it's the stupidest thing. So we'll see. I'm not, if you want to take them plus 10 against Philly, be my guest, Nick. I don't think I would play that. Again, Detroit's a Z team, and they're still a Z team. They don't score, and they give up a lot of points. So when it changes, then we'll, when they become an A or a B team, then, yeah, we'll take them. But until that time, I'm not betting a Z team. Okay, so as I was saying, so let's go through the quarterbacks that I saw on the box scores in Yahoo for the preseason games. So I'm not paying attention. I don't care about the score. Maybe for over/under, I'll glance at it, but I'm not interested at it now. So we'll start from the top. Buffalo, LA. Buffalo, Matt Barkley, Case Keenum. Okay, so they got some pretty good. Keenum's a really good backup, so I don't mind that. They're fine at quarterback. LA, Stafford, Perkins. And I go and I said, who the hell is Perkins? So I look, he's from Virginia. And this guy played the whole game. They didn't have a third string. They just had Perkins play the whole freaking game. And he's one of these running quarterbacks. And it's just, what are you guys doing? I don't know why they think we'll have a fast quarterback and he can throw and he can run. Like, you're going to win with that when you can't win with that. So I don't. If Stafford gets hurt, we'll be betting heavily against the Rams with Perkins as their quarterback. I don't know who their other quarterback is. We'll see maybe next week. New Orleans, I got them starting Winston, and then their reserves are Ian Book from Notre Dame and Andy Dalton. Now, Andy Dalton I like. Probably should be the starter over Winston. Winston, too many turnovers. He made me a ton of money at Florida State his freshman year when they won the title, and after that, it's all gone downhill. Too many interceptions, too inconsistent. You don't know, again, is it going to be an over and under? Well, it depends how he throws his interceptions. So I think Dalton's the best of the 3 there. Ian Book, he's terrible. Atlanta, 2 quarterbacks. They got Mariota, and then Ritter from Cincinnati. Now, what I say about Ritter is I watched and lost money on Cincinnati against Tulane and Tulsa. I'm laying 14 points or 11 points, and I'm in a teaser, and since he's laying 17 or 16, and I'm laying 10 or 11, and this guy couldn't cover against Tulane and Tulsa. Not Alabama and Georgia, Tulane and Tulsa. This guy couldn't put up 30 points. I mean, they won the games by like 10 points. So I am not a Ritter fan. He's a good runner, but again, is he a good thrower? They didn't score against those teams. How are you going to go into the NFL? And now I'm going to light it up against NFL talent. I mean, you couldn't do it. And that's where I use what I watch in college. And I carry that into the pros, so I can tell you if a guy stinks or he's good is by what happened in college, because it's far easier competition than pros. And if you can't do it there, you're not going to do it in the pros. So Ritter, we'll be betting again when Mariota stinks, but Ritter, okay, he's new. You can have a quarterback controversy, but he's not the answer. New England, Jones from Alabama, and then Zappe and Hoyer. And Zappe looked great. Zapke's better than Jones, but they won't start him because he's a rookie. But Zapke's the real deal. Best quarterback in the draft, better than Jones. When he is the quarterback, we'll be betting New England, especially as a dog. This guy, good arm, good sight. He's a good quarterback. Miami, we got Tagliavua, who sucks, and then Thompson. I don't remember who Thompson was. Not very good. No quarterback at Miami. They're an under team, pretty good defense. We will see. See, they bring him in a receiver like, oh, that's the thing. If we bring him in a fast receiver, now he'll be a better quarterback. He still doesn't throw the ball more than 5 yards down the field, and he throws it to the tight end, Gesicki from Penn State, who's great, but there's no real running attack and no fear of the long ball, so they'll start shrinking the field on him. But he's not. He doesn't know how to read defenses. So they're a good under team, and Thompson, he's not gonna help me either. The 49ers, this is a very strange thing. So Garoppolo, who we know is not very good, Sudfeld, who was pretty good when he backed him up, Trey Lance, we have no idea about, and Brock Purdy, who we know is a really good quarterback from Iowa State, won us a lot of money. He played 4 years at a program like Iowa State, starts as a freshman, really good quarterback. I would think he's the best quarterback on the team. He's definitely up there with Sudfeld. Lance, we have no idea about. Another one of these running quarterbacks plays 1 year at North Dakota State. Are you kidding me? I don't get this North Dakota State stuff. Okay, they're Division II. They play nobody. They have a scheme. It's a wide open type of scheme. What Oh, I'm going to draft him in the 4th pick. Are you kidding me? So the Niners really confuse me. Purdy should be their starting quarterback. I don't know, Nick. Oh, yeah, Zappy. Yeah, absolutely. Well, this is my point, Nick. I mean, when you looked at him I looked at his stats yesterday, 59 touchdowns and 4 picks at Western Kentucky. I know it's a little bit of a spread school, and, you've had other quarterbacks come out of there, but 59 and 4, are you kidding me? And he killed the bowl game. He just lit it up. He's a great quarterback. I mean, he's got an arm on him, and he's so accurate. So absolutely best in the class, and better than better than Mills, better than Garoppolo, better than Fields, better than Jones, Tagliavua, better than Mariota. I mean, this is the point. This guy's better than most of these guys. And don't sell Brock Purdy short. He was good at Iowa State, but he played within the confines of they had a great defense, and they beat Oklahoma. And they probably beat Texas. I know they beat Oklahoma, and I go, there goes Iowa State again with that great defense. So he's a good quarterback. He'll probably do well with Shanahan's offense. I'm sure he'll look better, but he's got it all. And I like that he's a 4-year starter. That was what Parcells always liked. He wouldn't take a quarterback unless he was a 4-year starter. So definitely like Purdy at Frisco. That was a better pick than Lance. Lance, I don't know. Who knows? The Bears, they got Fields starting, but then look at this shit they have as backup. Trevor Siemian, Northwestern, Fields, and Peterman, who threw the 10 interceptions in that one Buffalo game. You got to be kidding. Look at these guys. See, and then here's Purdy sitting on Frisco as their 3rd stringer. He's better than all 3 of the Bear quarterbacks. See, here's the problem with the NFL. They draft Fields. He's not good, but they don't get rid of him, and they don't replace him. And they keep going with him, and they keep losing with him. They did it with Trubisky. They did it with, Carson Wentz, another one of these North Dakota State stars who suck. And they don't get rid of him. They finally got rid of Wentz, and now he couldn't do it in Indiana. And now he's at another place. He's at Washington. Another we'll take anybody. This is the problem. So the Bears have no quarterbacks. Now they usually have a good defense. We'll see about their runner, but now this is a perfect under team, right? Fields ain't going to light you up. Peterman's going to throw interceptions, and Simeon is back at Northwestern. So you have no quarterbacks to worry about. So what are they going to do against the Packers and Aaron Rodgers? Aaron Rodgers lights them up for 28 points. The Bears have no answer. They're either an under team or a bet against. And this is what you get. This is the analysis I'm teaching today is the quarterback scores for you. A good quarterback. We bet Brady, Rodgers over, Mahomes over, Herbert over. We don't bet overs on Simeon and Fields and Trevor Lawrence and Tagliabue. Those are all under quarterbacks because they stink. So you recognize, and that's what I do very well, their skill set. This guy's not good. He wasn't good in college. He's not going to be good. They're not going to score a lot unless their defense gets 3 or 4 pick sixes. You've taken away the kickoff return. So the only thing is you need a good punt returner, which the Bears always had, or nothing. So, or you're going to drive 75, 80 yards every time, which these quarterbacks can't do. They can't read defenses. Ohio State does not teach you how to read a defense. Peterman obviously can. He threw what, 6 interceptions in a half? And then Simeon at Northwestern, you're not learning how to read a defense. So these three stink to make the Bears an under. So I think that first game against the Niners, especially with Garoppolo, even if Purdy's not going to start, maybe Lance, it's an under. You don't have any quarterback. They're going to be 17-13 maybe, if you're lucky. Indy and Houston. Okay, Indy, Matt Ryan. Never been impressed with him, even at Boston College. Okay, though. Erlinger, he's the guy from Texas a year ago who I really liked. Nick Foles, good. And then Cone was at Wisconsin, played at Notre Dame. Now, Notre Dame didn't impress me offensively. He didn't light it up. Again, they're just taking Notre Dame quarterbacks like they take Alabama and Ohio State. Well, we'll take him because he went to Notre Dame. Is he any good? Well, we don't know, but he went to Notre Dame. Or this guy went to Alabama, so he must be good because he went to Alabama. So Cone I don't like. Ryan's okay. Foles I like. Erlinger. So I would either start Foles or Erlinger. Erlinger, the guy from Texas, was very good. He'll do very well if you give him the opportunity. So Indy's got good quarterbacks. Houston, Mills from Stanford stinks. Driscoll, I think it was from Florida. He's not bad. Now that's all they're showing is Mills and Driscoll. So you got problems at Houston, especially Mills. He's terrible. See, he was terrible at Stanford. So why would you think he's going to be good in the pro? This is what I don't get. He's terrible at Stanford. So again, we'll be betting against Houston. Pittsburgh and Cincinnati. Pittsburgh. Pickett looked very good. Rudolph from Oklahoma State and Trubisky. So if you looked at those three, the worst guy is Trubisky. He had one decent year at North Carolina, sucked at the Bears, and now he's at Pittsburgh. Handed off? Pickett looked very good last night. When Pickett starts, then we'll analyze how does he look. Very good at Pittsburgh, good stats, 4-year guy. Didn't look good his junior year, looked good last year, I assume, because they changed offensive coordinators. So we will see what the Steelers do with Pickett. Looked good last night, though. So if he starts, I'm okay. Trubisky's terrible. Cincinnati, Nick, your favorite, Joe Burrow. Absolutely. Love the guy. Best in the league. Browning, I got stinks. I can't read what I wrote. Just that he stinks. And then they got Pillett. Pillett, I looked up, played at Ball State. He was terrible there. He didn't have good numbers. And then I think Brandon Allen from Arkansas. So Allen will be the best. Oh, no, Browning played at the University of Washington. That's what it is. So he stunk at Washington, and he's not going to do good in the pro. I'm surprised he's there. I don't understand what these GMs are looking at. Am I the only one that can see talent? I'm very confused. Browning was terrible at Washington. They couldn't score. Now you want him to be your starter at Cincinnati? Really? Pillett was at Ball State. They were average. He didn't hit the 200 club. Let's see. Do I have Ball State? No. I got Kent State, Ohio, Central, Toledo, and Western, all with balanced offenses. I don't have Pillett. And he was at Ball State, so he stinks. And then Brandon Allen's okay. So if you get in trouble, you go to Brandon Allen from Arkansas as your backup. The other two guys, you're just wasting time. And this is the problem in preseason. Why isn't Burrow playing the first quarter? Oh, he's going to get hurt. It's football. What does he do in game one? Is he against Pittsburgh here? He could just as easily get hit in the first quarter, only he doesn't have any practice. Him and Chase should be playing the first quarter, throwing 3 or 4 balls to him, getting the rhythm and timing down, because that's always the key. That's what fucks us up in the bowl games. Ohio State plays Michigan. They get to the Rose Bowl. They haven't played a game in a month. They go against USC, and USC kills them in the first half because Ohio State's out of time. You can't practice it. You've got to play it. So I just don't. I'm hoping Burrow and Chase play a little bit next week because they need to have some game time, game speed, and get out there. Baltimore and the Jets. Baltimore. Jackson didn't play. Brown from Oregon. Oh, my God. How much money did we lose on Brown from Oregon last year? He's terrible. He couldn't complete a 20-yard pass right over the middle. He was high, low. He's not accurate. He's a bit of a runner, but Jesus Christ. Now they got Huntley as the other guy from Utah who looks better than Jackson. So if I was Baltimore, I'd be starting Huntley. I would get rid of Brown. He's a running type of quarterback. And Jackson, we know, is not very good. He can't pass and hit the broadside of a barn. He can run, but this is the NFL where the defensive ends are faster than him. So Huntley is the man at Baltimore. If he goes in, I feel pretty good. The Jets, Jets, and not the Mets. Wilson, we know. We like him. White, who I thought was getting pretty good last year. When White quarterback, they looked pretty good. That they beat Tennessee, I think, with White. And who's the other one? Schruler. I can't read the other one. And then Wilson played. So Wilson's okay. White I like, and I can't read it. I was at the lake trying to write this. Bueller. I don't know. Nobody good. So it's basically White's a good backup. Wilson, I like Zach Wilson, I think from BYU. So I don't have a problem with him. This is the Jets. They need an offense. They need a running back. Any offense, you need a running back, a tight end, and a fast receiver. So basically, you need the Raiders. You need Cliff Branch. You need Flip Whitnikoff. You need Marv Hubbard. And you need Clarence Davis, and Todd Christensen. And then, or my favorite, which was the Notre Dame guy. God, I can't believe this. He'd always be wide open. What the fuck? Anyway, that's how you win, right? Balanced offense. And the Jets just don't have it. It's amazing. But I can't name their tight end. I can't name a running back. What are they drafting? Who's doing this drafting? See, this is why I'd be a good GM, because I'd break it down. This is what I told you. Okay, where's Dave Casper? That's it. I'm so sorry. Who's my Dave Casper? Who's my Bolitnikoff and Branch? Who's my Marcus Allen? Who's my quarterback? And get Willie Brown and get Mel Blount, get my defense, and get my Jack Lambert and get my Joe Green. That's all you need. I mean, it's not that difficult, but they don't seem to know how to do it. They're all getting offensive linemen. I mean, what the fuck you don't win with an offensive lineman? You know how many Steeler offensive linemen in the 70s were drafted number 1? Like 0? Like, it's insane. You're wasting. I'd rather have Franco Harris and then get Lynn Swann and Stallworth and Lambert as my top draft picks, not fucking offensive linemen. If they'd have done that, they wouldn't have won 1 Super Bowl. Anyway, so Wilson needs help. We'll keep an eye if they got any tight end or running back, but right now we'll see. They're a Z team and under team. Next, Philadelphia, Detroit. Gardner Minshew, who I like from Washington State, went to Jacksonville. Didn't look too bad. Sinnott. I go, who the fuck is Sinnott? And if I don't hear who this is, then nobody knows. And I checked him out. He's from San Diego, not San Diego State, Division II San Diego, where Jim Harbaugh started coaching in the beginning. I don't know. I know nothing about the guy. San Diego, okay, maybe he's okay. Hurts, we know, sucks. So Minshew's probably the best quarterback. The Senate, we don't know. Could be good out of San Diego. Probably a good passer. So I'd be starting Minshew. Hurts can't hit the broadside of a barn. Another one of these Oklahoma fast quarterbacks who can run and can't throw. All right. Detroit, Jared Goff, biggest choke in the world. I called it when California went to Utah for the conference championship at the Pac-10, and he threw 5 picks in the first half to Utah. He's a choke. He gets to the Super Bowl. He doesn't. He scores 3 points on freaking New England. He's a choke. He's not good. He's okay, but he's not good. I wouldn't have him. Then they have Blau from Purdue, who wasn't good in Purdue, not good here. And then, see, here's an example. Blau, late in the game, I'm listening, driving home, and I think they're up 24-21 or 24-20, and they're trying to run the clock, and the guy fumbles. Atlanta gets it. Atlanta goes in, scores, touchdown. And that's my point. The guy chokes with the lead. All you got to do is hand the ball off, take a knee, whatever the hell you're going to do, and he fumbles. That's not a guy I want. That's a choke. I don't want chokes on my team. So Blau's a choke. Boyle, I don't know who the hell that guy is. And Goff. So, again, weak quarterbacking. Again, don't have receivers. Again, they're an under team. No quarterback. And they're a Z team because they have a weak defense. So is the Hawkinson, the guy from Michigan, is he all that good? I don't think so. And then the cornerback from Ohio State who had the Achilles, is he going to come back? He didn't impress me. The only play I liked him on was the Clemson touchdown that they called back because they called it an incomplete pass when the guy caught the ball, took 3 steps, fumbled. Ohio State scores a touchdown. This was in the Clemson game, in the playoff game. So, a lot of these guys are better off in college. They have good talent around them. He had the Bosa boys, and so they put pressure on. He could lay back. Not at the Lions. No pressure. He gets burnt. So we'll see how the defense is with Hutchinson and Okudah. Bad. We'll see. But my guess is they'll both get hurt. They'll play 2 or 3 games. My shoulder hurts, and they'll be out 8 weeks. That's what the Lions do. They all get hurt and go cry on the sidelines. Cleveland and Carolina. Cleveland now, Deshaun Watson, who's out at least 6 weeks or 10 weeks or 12 weeks or whatever. Joshua Dobbs, Tennessee, and Josh Rosen, UCLA. So Cleveland, I like Dobbs at Tennessee. I thought he was okay. He's not as good as the guy Hooker is. Hooker's really good, the guy they got now. Dobbs is okay. Rosen, I don't know. I thought he was good at UCLA. He's done nothing in the pros. Hard to say, but I wouldn't be too uncomfortable with Rosen. He's much better than Fields or Peterman or Garoppolo. So I don't know. We'll have to see if maybe he's in a good offense like he has a UCLA offense. Watson, we know he's great, but if you can't get on the field, you're not good. Carolina, Mayfield. I definitely like Mayfield. P.J. Walker from Temple. I thought he was okay. Sam Darnold, we all know what I think about him. He stinks. And Matt Corral from Old Mississippi, who, again, I wasn't really sold on him as such a great quarterback. I would much rather have Zappy over Corral all day long. So we like Mayfield. P.J. Walker's not going to hurt you. Darnold sucks. Corral, I don't know. He's a rookie. He didn't do anything at Ole Miss. They didn't really win any big games, so I don't know. He's average. Jacksonville, Washington. Z versus W. Jacksonville. Trevor Lawrence, we all know what I think of him. He's terrible. And again, if you watched him in college against Ohio State, he was like 9 of 25 for 50 yards. The only reason he did anything was he ran the ball. And that was it. And that, sorry, doesn't work in the NFL. So his passing's terrible. So he's not a passer, but that's what you got to do in the NFL to have any that. Then there's Luton from Oregon State, I believe, and Beathard from Iowa. Probably okay. Luton and Beathard are, I'm sure, better than Lawrence. Lawrence needs he played like he was 3 for 3 or something. Probably just swings to the running back. He needs to play a half. This guy needs as much practice as he can. He's terrible. So again, that's a Z team, an under team with Lawrence against Washington. Sam Howell from North Carolina. Why is he in the league? Wentz. Why is he in the league? And Heineke, who didn't look too bad for he's the best of the three. This will be interesting, but they still think now Washington has a really good defense if they're all still there. So again, all you really want is a running back who can eat up clock and then let the defense stop the other team, and it ends up being a bunch like this game. If the defense is still there, the same, Marquise Sweat, the guy from Ohio State, if they're still there, then this should be a 10-0 game for Washington, because Jacksonville is not going to score, and they have a pretty good defense. So this is really shaping up into a really good over-under. I see 44, and I'm loving this under with Lawrence and Wentz. Like, really? Okay, good luck with that. Good luck scoring a touchdown in this game. Oakland, San Diego. Now, Oakland plays tonight, so I haven't seen their backup. I know Carr's there. We know, okay, here's the backup. Here's Herbert for San Diego, superstar, love him. A guy named Sticky. Who the hell's that? North Dakota State. What the fuck are you doing with another guy now there's 3 North Dakota State guys out there. Excuse me, Wentz doesn't do anything. Trey Lance played 1 year there and hasn't played a down. And now you got Sticky, who must have been their quarterback last year. Okay, I didn't hear of him. I didn't really look up his stats. What the hell are you doing? So another guy, now maybe he went to San Diego, he lives in San Diego, they knew about him. The other guy is Daniels, who I love. Daniels from Missouri. This guy, I thought, he backed up Drew Brees for like 7-8 years, Chase Daniels, and he's really, really good. So I'm fine if he goes in the game. Herbert, of course, I'm fine with. Sticky, again, you're drafting guys that couldn't make Oregon. He couldn't, at least, was it Herbert or another guy who actually was, I think it was Herbert. He's Division II, and he goes to Oregon and he lights it up. Okay, fine. I got no problem. He goes up to major college and he lights it up. Sticky plays South Dakota State and, Montana. I mean, come on. Unless it's Joe Montana, it's who you play. You're not even playing guys that are as good as the guys at Rice and Massachusetts and Connecticut. I mean, they couldn't even make those teams. I mean, come on. What are you kidding me? So it's just a waste of time. But I guess you don't want to play Herbert. Herbert, I would play I'd play them all at least. Next week, I'd play them a half, and then the last game, because I guess there's 3, I would play the first quarter and get them ready for the season. Otherwise, you get, how many injuries did we get last year, Nick? Like 1,000? Pulled hamstrings and calf muscles and knee injuries, all because they don't play in training camp. And then you want them to go 4 quarters in the first couple of games, and they are winded because they are not ready. They are not in playing shape. Green Bay, Minnesota. Well, we all know God's there. Aaron Rodgers. Love stinks. Etling. I think he's a Big Ten guy. And this is the team, very cleverly has Baylor, the running back from Oregon State that we love. This guy, 1,500 yards, great runner. This will be a great compliment for Rodgers. Good out of the backfield. Was on Oregon State, very good finding this guy to be your running back. So cleverly, they lose Devontae Adams, and then I don't know if they still have Adam Jones, the running back from Wyoming. That's the guy that made Josh Allen, was Jones, rushed for 1,700 yards at Wyoming, or 2000, I think. And then so everybody's keying on him, and Josh Allen looks good, even though he can't read a blitz. And here comes I don't know if he's still there or not. And then they pick up Baylor, a beautiful pickup for Rodgers. Now that's smart. That's a smart team. That's why they win all the time. If they had better defense, they'd win in the playoffs. But Rodgers now gets Baylor to balance the offense. Beautiful. Minnesota plays tonight with Oakland, so we'll get their backups tonight. We know Kirk Cousins, who I thought was gone, is still in Minnesota. We know what he does. He chokes. He scores when they're down 30 points. When the game's close, he's not there. The NYG, the Giants against Tennessee, Z versus Z. Let's see. Daniel Jones, we know he sucks. Tyrod Taylor and Webb. Boy, this is the best you could come up with, New York. Tyrod Taylor was terrible at Virginia Tech. I remember making a massive bet on UCLA against Tyrod Taylor. That was the year I cleaned up and hit my 11-team teaser. Well, one of the 11 was UCLA over Virginia Tech with Tyrod Taylor, and Tyrod Taylor didn't do shit. So he's not good. Matt Jones, this is not Matt Jones. This is the other Jones from Duke or North Carolina, one of those. But he went to the Peyton Manning camp, so he must be good. And Webb. So the Giants again are under. Again, have no quarterback. If they're relying on Jones or Taylor, they're in big. They're not. They couldn't start at Ohio State and Michigan. Are you kidding me? Against Tennessee, Tannehill, he's okay. Willis goes there, and Woodside, the best quarterback they got on their roster is Woodside from Toledo. This guy's a winner. This guy's a very good quarterback. Willis, I have my doubts with because the way they lost to easy teams last year, I don't like Willis at all. And then Tannehill. Now, Willis, the coach is Hugh Freeze, who was, I think, at Auburn, or he was a big SEC coach. Got caught, and he had to step down. So he's a good coach. And Willis couldn't win with them. And he runs. It's like Lamar Jackson. He can't really throw, but he runs, and he's a running quarterback, which I've got a guy named, the guy from Alabama. I got the best running back in the league, who I can't think of that name. Jesus, Dave Casper. No, this guy. I'll think of it in a minute. So I got the best running back in the league. I don't have good receivers. I want Willis. I'm going to be handing the ball off to the stud running back. I need Woodside, who can throw and take the heat off my stud running back, who I can't freaking remember. Tannehill's okay. Woodside's better. Willis, I don't think that. I think they won 5 games. How good is he? How good is the quarterback if you at Liberty only won 5 games? You're not playing Notre Dame and Ohio State and Alabama. I know Coastal Carolina crushed them, and I think they're an independent, but they didn't do well. I think Army crushed them. So I'm not sold on Willis. I got another running quarterback that doesn't, look at Lamar Jackson. They don't do anything, and they'll eventually get hurt where a Woodside or Tannehill keeps playing. I like Woodside the best on Tennessee. If he played, I'd be betting him. Kansas City and Arizona. We got Mahomes, Shane Buechele from, I believe it's SMU, Crum, and then Chad Henne from Michigan, who's, I think he's been in the league 20 years. Boy, he's old. I can't believe it's Chad Henne. So I like Buechele, but of course you got Mahomes, so I would just play Buechele as the backup, maybe Henne because he's experienced. But they're fine with Mahomes. That's the only guy I see in the field. Arizona, Kyler Murray. Now here you have an interesting – you got McSorley from Penn State, who I thought was very good. He's the guy that lit up, and they put 40 up a game at Penn State, and that was the Rose Bowl against USC. It was like 44-41. McSorley's the real deal. their other backup's Quantum Tato from Tennessee, who not a big fan of his, but you got McSorley, who is better than Murray. What are you doing? So we'll see how long Murray lasts. Yeah, supposedly gets hurt last year. That's the excuse why he didn't do well in the playoffs. Why he threw that interception from his own end zone for a Ram touchdown. So again, we'll see. McSorley is the best quarterback there. So again, see, Murray's flashy because he plays in a style at Oklahoma where they run the defense deep and then let the quarterback run around. That's not quarterbacking. That's just having a running back at quarterback. So McSorley is the best quarterback. Should be playing. If he's playing, I am very, very fine with that. They'll go to the playoffs. Tampa Bay and Dallas. We all know Tom Brady, not the GOAT, Joe Montana, but he's the second GOAT. Now, I love their backup, Trask from Florida. I love this guy. This guy's better. Let's go down the list. Better than Winston, better than Mariota, better than Jones, better than Tagovailoa, better than Garoppolo, better than Fields, better than Mills, better than Trubisky, better than Lamar Jackson, better than Hurts, better than Goff, better than Lawrence, better than Wentz, and better than Jones and Tannehill, and right up there with Murray. This guy is fucking awesome. He's great. And what the fuck? So you got Brady, so you're not going to play. Trash looked very good yesterday. Great move by Tampa drafting this guy out of Florida. He had like 45 touchdowns and 5 picks. Florida went to the championship game or whatever and lost to Alabama. This guy is fucking good, and great move by Tampa. If I was any of these other – if I'm Jacksonville, I'll let you have Trevor Lawrence. I don't even care. I'll cut Trevor Lawrence, send him back to Clemson, and I'll pick up this guy. You got to be kidding me. This guy's fucking great. And you got Trevor Lawrence, you got Tagovailoa, Jones, Winston, Mariota. Are you kidding me? This guy's so much better than Mariota. It's a joke. These coaches, these GMs are such idiots. You keep guys with no talent and guys with talent you don't trade for. What are you fucking doing? All right. Prescott, Dallas, Danucci, who I had to look that up. He's Division II. And then Rush, who is not bad from Central Michigan. You're not winning with Danucci. He's, I don't know. It was like Cornell or something like that. Rush, pretty good. Your problem is Prescott, not very good, doesn't know how to read defenses and turns the ball over a lot. So Prescott is not a Brady. He's not a Mahomes. He's not a Russell Wilson. Don't get confused. Turns the ball over too much. Can't read defenses and doesn't use Emmitt Smith / Ezekiel Elliott enough and make it into what you had with Jimmy Johnson. Doesn't run Elliott in the right spot at the right time, doesn't know how to read the defense. And I'm sure they're taking Elliott away to say, go ahead, Prescott, you beat us, because he's not a very accurate quarterback. This is the problem. This is what you get with a Willis. It's sort of like a Prescott. Maybe he can throw, but he's not accurate, and it's all accurate. That's the key. All right, in the last game, Denver, Seattle, Russell Wilson, my man. For Denver, Johnson. I looked up Josh Johnson. He's terrible. What the hell is he doing on backing up in Denver? And then Ripken, his cousin, Mark Ripken, who was in the Super Bowl in the 80s. This is he's related to him, was the Boise State quarterback. Not bad. You'll be okay with Ripken as your backup to Russell Wilson. Hopefully he doesn't get hurt. Where he hurt his thumb last year, but Ripken's capable. Johnson just sucks. What are they thinking picking this guy up to back up? Because, I love it. Well, he's got experience. He sucks. What kind of experience? Seattle, Drew Lock. Okay, I didn't mind him at Missouri. Okay, Geno Smith. So Seattle's got trouble with court. Maybe they can develop Lock. Coach Pete, do they have running? Their problem is Coach Pete wants to run. He wants USC ball. He wants to run the ball and play the defense. And he had a great defense at USC. He had a great defense at Seattle. They won a Super Bowl. Should have won 2 if he runs the beast in the Super Bowl. He wins 2 Super Bowls. I don't think he's ever recovered from that missed call of throwing, and then Russell Wilson not reading the coverage, throwing into the double coverage and getting the ball picked. Should have gotten away from that. So Locke, okay, he's okay. And then Geno Smith, I'm not crazy about him. So those are your quarterbacks. I've kind of laid it out. So the ones, I like, Zappy, Purdy, Ellinger, Huntley from Utah. I love that Green Bay got Baylor from Oregon State, the running back. Woodside, McSorley, Trask. Ripken's not a bad backup. And then we'll see how Locke is. So that's what I got out of preseason. Please don't bet it. How do you bet third stringers how do you bet on Josh Johnson from Denver? Are you insane? This guy couldn't make a college team, more or less. He's going to be a good pro. Are you kidding me? So that's what I got out of it. So week 1, we're getting more of a perspective. More of the over-unders are starting to show light. We'll see. I need another week or 2. I've done my trend analysis, but I don't have anything set yet. It's too new and it's too far away. College. Now, after looking at balanced team, balanced offense, balanced defense, now I look at the games a little differently. So our first blush was, I'm not sure. Now I've got the stats down. I know the teams A and Z, but now I got the stats down. Like Minnesota, 38 over New Mexico State. And I look at Minnesota, great defensive team, but I don't see them on the balanced offense list. I see Michigan and Ohio State, the only 2 balanced teams in the Big Ten. But I do see a strong defense from Minnesota. So I look at the Minnesota game, for example, they're laying 38 points over under a 56 against New Mexico State. New coach, new quarterback. I figure 35-0. I mean, with this defense, and the coach seems to look at defense, I look at Minnesota to shut out New Mexico State. If you're only giving up 278 yards a game, New Mexico State should not score. So that kills your over. Now, if you think you're going over 56, you're going over 50, it's all going to be Minnesota. But Minnesota, they're an under team. I think this, now looking at it, turns into an underplay because you have this Minnesota 278 defense, which I didn't know their defense. I knew they were an under team, and I knew they didn't give up a lot of points, but I didn't know that their defense was this strong until I did this little exercise. Now, that was last year's team, but it shows the coach is there. This is what the coach does. And again, defense, most of the defense, even if all of them graduate, you still, like Georgia, their backups played a lot. Not an issue. Shouldn't be a problem for getting, the new guys up to speed. I mean, that's just normal. So you start looking at these stats, getting a little bit better understanding. Utah State, Connecticut. Now you look at Utah State, and again, they are pass happy. They're not balanced. Yeah, I didn't see anybody in the Mountain West that was balanced. They're all throwers. They're fairly good. Did they have a defense? Utah State. I got Utah there. No, I don't see Utah State. But I do see who they playing. They're playing Connecticut. So Connecticut gives up, where are they? They give up 433 yards a game. Well, we know they're a Z. We know they're going to give up So when you know they're a Z, you know they're a terrible defense anyway, and they give up a lot of points. Now here's where it comes into play as a Houston team. They give up 300 yards a game. And who are they playing? So you look in week 1, and it's a pretty good game. They've got UTSA. So in the first blush, I'm taking this over. Houston they're both A teams. Well, they're both A teams means they both score. They both have good defenses. So then I look at UTSA, and I don't see them under 350. I look at offensively. Now they are balanced, 183 running, 255 passing. And Houston, they're not balanced. They're more of a passing team. So it's these little things where now you see Houston gives up 300 yards a game. Are you going to bet it over? And that's what kind of changes. Now that you go through this, now you relook at the games and you go, oh, fuck. I know, Nick, you're into the Utah-Florida game. Well, you look at Florida and their defense. Let's see. Their defense doesn't show. Are they a weak defensive team? No. And then offensively, they're not balanced. And they got the coach. But we look at Louisiana Lafayette. So what I did was the Louisiana Lafayette is the Florida coach. So I looked at they ran for 187 and threw for 217, but they had Levi Lewis who got the 187 by himself, and he passed for 217. So we'll see if Florida has a running quarterback, but you don't see, Utah, Florida. Now, Utah, we know, is a very balanced offense. Where are they? Utah Pack. Utah runs for 216 and throws for 214. God, you love Utah. So Florida, what are they going to do? How are they going to stop Utah? They can't. You can't. And then their quarterback rising. There's no way Florida can stop this team. But Florida doesn't have the defense. I see Georgia defense. I see Kentucky defense. I see Alabama, Mississippi State, A&M, all holding under 500. But I don't see I don't see Florida in that mix. And do I see Louisiana Lafayette in that mix? Lou Lafayette. Yes. Lou Lafayette gave up 334 yards. So Florida's defense might be okay, but again, it's new. Probably won't be. So I'm not, so I'm trying to look at Lou Lafayette for Florida, but it doesn't just overnight. So I don't see how Utah can lose the game. And if you look at the bad defenses, you quickly pick up Louisiana Monroe, Texas State, Arkansas. Arkansas, they gave up 505 yards. How is that possible? Georgia Southern, Mississippi, Vanderbilt, Missouri. So it quickly, you can almost see the Z teams, except for Kent, who was an anomaly. They got 500 yards of offense, 250 balanced on running and passing, but they give up 471, the ultimate over team. But who knows that? I mean, you don't know that unless you know. See, what I do is know what to look for. What most guys do, they analyze the stupid algorithm numbers or math formula or whatever the fuck. They look at the number. And so who's Kent State playing? I just looked at this, Kent State. Where are you, Kent? They're playing at Washington. The line's 22, the over-under is 60. Now, Washington, fairly good defense. Let's see what it was last year. They gave up 335 yards. Well, that's not 290 yards. It's not Georgia, 268. 330, that's average. They're an under team because they don't score. Did they have balance? No. They don't really have a quarterback. I think they got a new coach. Yes, new coach. The Fresno State coach, DeBoer. So they should, and Penix. So they should be able to score a little bit more. Their defense is okay. Kent State's going to light them up because you ain't stopping this offense. And Kent State, well, no, they have a new quarterback, but a high power over offense, over under of 60. You are not, Washington, going to stop Kent State from scoring. Nobody will. Maybe Alabama, Ohio State, Georgia, but Iowa maybe. I don't know if Washington's there with the Boer, who I love, the Friends, but he wasn't the head coach at Fresno State. Maybe he was. But he's a very good offensive coach, but he had Jake Hayner. He doesn't have Jake Hayner at Washington. I don't know who he's got. It's a new coach. Now he's got Michael Penix from Indiana, who, if he couldn't do well last year at Indiana, he ain't going to do well at Washington. He did hurt his knee, I think. So he was injured. So is he still injured? Now you look at the over-under of 60 with a little bit different going. Hey, no way Washington's stopping it. But then you look at the point spread, 22. And you say to yourself, well, Washington's not going to score a lot. New coach, Fresno State, but he doesn't have Hayner. Got Penix, who did nothing at Indiana last year. He was good 2 years ago. And then you have this Kent State offense that 500 yards and it's 250. Holy shit. Now I really like Kent State in 28, knowing you ain't stopping them, Washington, unless you turn into the Georgia defense. You are not stopping this Kent State team from scoring. Will you win the game? I wouldn't be surprised if Kent State pulls the upset, except for their defense is so bad. I won't be surprised if this is a 75-point game because Washington, okay, Fresno State knows how to score. Their defense was okay. This isn't a Don James defense where you can't get a first down. And Kent State has an offense that is very high-powered and very balanced. So I look for Kent State. Can they win the game? I don't think they have the defense to win the game, but can they score on Washington? Absolutely. So this turns into Kent State in 28 is now a very viable bet. I haven't picked it yet, but after looking at the stats and then re-looking at the games, now I'm much more comfortable going, yeah, I like Kent State in 28. The spread's too high against Washington. In other words, Kent State's they're not Akron. Akron's the Z team there, not Kent State. They're an explosive over team, but they don't have a defense either. So Washington will score, but they're not stopping Kent State. So I think it looks like take 28 and or over 60 to 54 and go over 54. And I like both of them. Again, I haven't posted the plays yet. They'll be coming. Now, one quick comment, and then I'm going to show you my thing from yesterday. Is there a problem with PayPal? I don't know. Nick, when you sign up, are you going to go to the site and sign up with PayPal? Is there a problem? I don't know. Again, I've done PayPal for years. The only other thing I have is Venmo. I'm being asked if I have Cash App. No, I don't. I'm kind of leery. I'm off Facebook. I don't like that Cash App type of thing. I have PayPal, which all you need is a debit or credit card or maybe just a bank account. And then the other thing is Venmo, which I've used. But I don't want to sign up to all these different things. The other was Google App, which I don't. So if you cannot use PayPal for some reason, I'm not going to get into that. If you can get into Venmo, fine. And if you can't, then I'll take a MoneyGram to my email that's on Teaserking, HROBINS77@gmail.com. So you can send it to that or me, and I can give you my name if you need it. I think you need my name and I don't think Professor will work. I have to show ID. So I'll give you that if you're going to MoneyGram me. But I don't know what's wrong with PayPal. I just used it. It works fine. So I don't get it, but I respect if you aren't comfortable with it. The only other option I can offer you is Venmo or MoneyGram. Or the other thing would be a cashier's check you can mail to me. But I don't want you to pay for that, and I don't want you to then have to run and mail it and wait for the mail. And I just I'd be if we had to go, we'll go to MoneyGram, but PayPal should work, and Venmo then is the second choice. I do not have Cash App, and I don't want to get all these apps. I'm not comfortable with all this social media crap. So if there's a problem, please let me know, but I am not aware of that. So let me show you the article again, just for repeat. So this article is about JP Morgan. So I showed it yesterday, but that's okay. We'll show it again. JP Morgan traders found guilty of manipulating gold market for years. So what do I tell you? Buy gold. What do I hear? Well, it doesn't move. It doesn't move. And I say, stop looking at COMEX because that's not reality. Well, this is the proof of what I've been preaching. This is why gold is not good, is because of this. It's because of this whole thing where they've been keeping the price down. It's not market. If it's market, it would be much, much higher, and we wouldn't be able to buy it right now. So what we're doing is taking advantage, sort of like we do with the bad line. So again, they have been prosecuted and found guilty. So they have price fixed gold and kept it down. They've manipulated the gold market. So with that said, now you understand why I tell you to buy gold. Not only is it the only real money, gold and silver, but it's been manipulated. So now what happens? Well, if they don't manipulate it, it's going to go to market. Well, what's market, Howard? That's Austrian economics. And again, that's why I bring this out. This at market sells for $50. Maybe it's 60 now. But if you're keeping it at $5, that's not the real price. Once it goes to market, it goes to $50, whatever Myers or Target is selling it at. Gold being pushed down is not the real market price. And this is what I try to explain. Don't look at COMEX. That's JP Morgan keeping it, manipulating the price down. So all their little mafia buddies at the central banks can buy it for $1,800. We all know it's worth $20,000, $30,000 an ounce. That's what we know, and that's what I'm telling you. I can read it like I can read quarterbacks in football. I'm telling you that gold is much higher. It's much more in demand. Banks have been buying the coins recently in the last 4 months. They bought like 60 million coins. Why are they doing that? It's not a good investment, Howard. Look, it doesn't move. Well, it doesn't move because it's price fixed, and all these other banks know it's about to go through the roof. That's why they're buying it. And now they're going to let it go. China and Russia need gold to go up. Russia's in a war. China's going bankrupt. They're 10 trillion in debt. They have a lot of gold, but it's at a cheap price. Okay, now I need the price to move, and that's what's going to make the price move. Is China and Russia need the price to move. Their mafias are stronger than anybody else's, so that's what will happen. There'll be some bullshit event that will say, oh, and then boom, gold gets reset. Maybe it's this JP Morgan, which probably the Chinese and Russians were behind, putting them in jail, saying, look, you guys got to go to jail and show it, and then we need to let the price run. The other person really behind it is George Soros. I'm not sure if he runs the mafia or the mafia runs him, because his name's out there, but he's the real criminal of what's going on in the world right now. Anyway, so that's what you have. Keep that in mind. Now, I went to the store yesterday, go to Gold and Silver, my store, and they had about 10 silver eagles. That's it. They normally have tons of them, right? little plastics of 20s. They have 4 or 5 of those. And then they have this Eagles there. Now they're still 35 an ounce. That price hasn't changed. I did get, and I was kind of excited, I got Austrian Philharmonic ounce. And on the back, I'll show you next time, it says it's €100. So I got €100 gold coin. In the US, they're only $50 coins. And this is the first Austrian I had, so I was all excited. And all they had was 3 American Eagles ounces and these 2 Austrian Philharmonics, which obviously somebody brought in. They're not getting it. Whenever they have Maple Leafs or Austrians, it's somebody came and sold. Somebody needed the money. And so then I pick it up, and I thought it was neat. So I got a good price. Now the Eagle was like 1940. The Philharmonic was 1870. So that's another reason I buy the Philharmonic. It's 1870. I'm saving $70 an ounce on the freaking Philharmonic. It's an ounce of gold. We don't care it's American or Austrian or it's from Africa, South Africa, or it's British or Canadian or US. It doesn't matter, because we're not looking at the value. I'm not looking at it as €100. I'm looking at it, it's freaking $1,900, going on its way up to 20,000. So I'm thinking I'm buying a $20,000 at least for 1,900. That's why I do it. And in worst case, I need the money. I go back in. I say, give it to me. I lose $20 or $30 on wherever the COMEX price is until they break the COMEX, which they're doing. They're doing the margin call fire sale where they got rid of all their mortgage-backed securities. Now they're doing it in gold and silver derivatives. The banks are dumping, which is why the price went down, because it's just dump, but it's just paper. Nobody's selling an ounce of gold. So anyway, so I picked up the one, but they don't have a lot. And this is my point to you people, is you need to buy it now, because now they've broken COMEX and it's all out. JP Morgan was fixing it. So you need to buy it before 2 things happen. One, you won't be able to find it. I'll go into the coin store. You won't have an ounce of gold to buy. And 2, it won't be off of COMEX. COMEX will be broke. It'll have a price tag of 10,000 an ounce. How many ounces are you going to buy at 10,000? How many ounces do you buy at 1,900? So that's the thing. So buy it. Now, silver, he capped at 35 an ounce. And it's only going to go up. It's not going to come down. And that's the American Eagle. And I couldn't find anything else. I think he made some like Michigan stuff, which wasn't appealing to me. But I bought the 5 ounce because I bought the gold. I bought the 5 ounces. So like next week, I'll just buy silver, But it's so cheap that you just keep buying it. Now, again, in my mind, I know it's worth a lot more. That's why I buy it. If I thought that the market price of silver was $35, and that was the real market price, and we didn't have this hyperinflation going on, and the U.S. wasn't the major currency in the world anymore, it's not. The China-Russia currency that's backed by gold is the main currency. So knowing all this, and the oil is not, first of all, the oil is now from the Saudis and the Russians, you need to pay in rubles or yuan, Chinese money. That's the first thing. And then they're not using US. And the second thing is they want everybody to buy electric cars where you don't even use oil. Now what are they going to do? So they're screwed both ways. Now I'm not going to buy an electric car, but the fact that the Saudi oil, which is where we get it from, and the Russian oil is all being paid for not with dollars anymore. Now, we have oil, but our fearless leader, Zai Cheng from China, is saying, no, don't sell your oil. Give it to us, but don't sell it. Just use the Saudi oil. And so our puppets just go along with it. And that's what happens. So if you read all that and you understand it, as I do, I understand that like I understand football. So just FYI. And so you run to gold and silver, because There's nowhere else to put it. Believe me, if I could move my money into euros, I would have done it. If I could have moved it into British pounds, I'd have done it. Swiss francs, I'd have done it. There's nowhere to move it to. There's no currency that's going to hold up. It's all going to blow up. So gold and silver. Now, countries going broke. The UK is going broke. Europe is going, anything that uses the euro is going broke. Greece, we know. Sri Lanka, we know. Pakistan, going broke. Japan, going broke. All these countries are hugely in debt. So imagine if you owed 20,000. Let's say you owed 100,000 on your credit card. Are you going broke? How are you going to pay that back? Then you lose your job. Now, how are you going to eat, pay rent, and pay your credit card? You can't. You got to go bankrupt. That's what's happening to the countries. The countries are sitting there. They have $10 trillion in debt. What are they going to do? You don't raise taxes to increase your tax revenue. You lower them. That's the only way, because if you increase taxes, people don't pay as much. They lose the incentive to work. If you tax me at 100%, do you think I'd work? No, I'd be doing Teaserking. That would be it. I wouldn't be working at a job, and I wouldn't tell you guys to work at a job unless it involved getting paid under the table where they can't tax you. Because if I made money, if I made $1,000 and it all went to tax, I'd be working for nothing. Why would I work? So the higher you tax, the less people work, because there's no incentive to work hard and not make any money. That's the incentive. So that's the problem. You cannot raise tax rates to get more tax revenue. And in fact, it works the opposite. When you lower it, the economy raises more taxes by you spending properly, and all the companies make more money. And when if Target makes more money, they pay more in taxes. When they make less money and they put goods on sale because nobody's buying them, they make less money and they pay less in taxes. It's as simple as that. Anytime prices increase, the quantities is decreased. So if you make movies $20, nobody's buying a movie. Make it $2, people buy it. I go on YouTube and I look at the movies there, and they want $14 for a movie. Screw you. I'd rather buy it used. There's a used store, disc replay or something. They got movies there, not good ones, some good ones, and they're like $3 for used CDs, which is fine. And you have a CD player and you watch movies that way. What I'm getting rid of and I hate is YouTube. I mean, I found a few Raider fans out there, Nick. I found the Oakland-Miami full game. It's on YouTube. It's just got put on a few months ago. It goes through the entire game, play by play, takes an hour. Not like the game of the week where it's 20 minutes. It's every play. They just play, next play, next play, next play, next play. And it shows you that. So I found that, but it was so many freaking commercials. It's like almost when I listen to my gold guys, like a commercial, like every 3 or 4 minutes, and the little 5-second one. And I got to rewind to get my thought back of what the hell was I watching? What was he just talking about because of the commercials? I do not have commercials on here. I do not believe. I did not sign up for them. I don't want them. So I think you get a pretty full broadcast without all these commercials dumped in. But I hate, there's a good, I want to watch this football game. And the first thing is the stupid commercial. And now they're getting commercials that you can't 5-second. They're like 15-second commercials. You're like, what the hell is going on here? So YouTube's really pissing me off. What they want is you to buy the premium for $11. They want you to spend $11 to watch YouTube without commercials, as opposed to, so out of spite, I will not pay for it because they shouldn't have all these commercials. I think it's going to backfire on them because people are already going to TikTok. And but this is if I had to, I would go to TikTok and do the show as opposed to doing it on YouTube. But since we've done it on YouTube for years, I don't want to change the venue. I don't want to lose anybody. Anyway, so that's it. So we'll look at the Oakland and Minnesota backups today. It's really Cousins and Carr are your guys. And keep in mind, like finding the running backs that I've told you had balanced offense, 1,500 yards in the pros. like Jones, Adam Jones on Green Bay from Wyoming. He had like 1,800 yards, if not 2,000. I knew he was going to be good, and he's very good on Green Bay, and he helps Rodgers out. So that's the hidden little gems that. Oh wait, Howard said this guy had 1,500 yards. He graduated on San Diego State, and then boom, he's in the pros. Like Rashad Penny, Seattle got him, but he got hurt. So you look at these guys. So you look at the balanced offense, the Oak State, the Baylor offenses, and you keep an eye on their running backs, and he gets into the pros. You know he's a good running back. He got 1,500 yards on Baylor. They're playing Oklahoma State and Oklahoma and Kansas State, some good defensive teams. Iowa State's running back went to the pros. I don't remember his name. Keep an eye on him. He's very, very good. Broke a lot of records. And on Iowa State, they're keying on him. They're not worried about the quarterback. They're going to run the ball and play defense, Iowa State. So we'll have to figure out these guys from last year, who's gone, where they went in the pros. But that's the key. And that's really what you do. You get a guy in the third round from, Utah State. He ran for 1,600 yards. That's a no-brainer. Instead, I'll take another offensive lineman because that means absolutely nothing. Again, I would never draft an offensive lineman in the first round. I don't care who he is, because I can blitz 6 and you ain't going to pick it up. And I don't care who you can have Anthony Munoz on your line. How many Super Bowls did he win? 0. He got there against the Niners. He didn't do anything. I mean, it's not, we have Anthony Munoz. We're going to run it right behind him and knock the Niners. I didn't do anything like that. So the offensive lineman is not the prudent pick in the first 2 rounds. The prudent pick is the running backs and a good quarterback like Trask. Was this Kyle Trask from Florida, 2nd round pick? That's how you get your quarterback. So this year, if you can get Rising from Utah or Thompson Brown from UCLA or McCall from that, or Zapke in the 5th round, what the fuck are these guys looking at? So I don't think they know what they're doing, which is why the league's so bad, which is why the coaching's so bad, because the general manager is clueless. They're running these algorithms or whatever you call Moneyball, which doesn't work in football because it's too emotional. There's too many highs and lows. You need players, just like in baseball. You need guys that hit 300 and drive in runs. You don't need guys that walk. That's not how you win in baseball. And that's in football. You don't need a running quarterback. You need a Tom Brady, Aaron Rodgers quarterback, Mahomes. Those are your guys winning. Russell Wilson, look at Jared Goff. He got him to the Super Bowl, but he sucked. Look at, Stafford last year, good thrower. And then you looked at Joe Burrow. Well, he doesn't run very little, doesn't need to. Get him out now. You get him some offensive linemen from Ohio State in the 5th round, and Alabama and LSU, 5th, 6th, 7th round guys. And you get Boutte from LSU in the 1st round and a good running back from LSU. All of a sudden, Cincinnati wins 3-4 Super Bowls in the next 6 years because they got the stud quarterback. And this guy's a superstar, and you could see it in college, the way he beat all these good teams. So anyway, that's what we have going on. So baseball, I thought we did baseball. I don't know. God, didn't I do baseball? Yeah, I did baseball. Don't forget the 12-0. Well, I'll do a quick look at it. Cleveland, Toronto. 7, that's an under game. Gaussman and Beer. Okay, so let's do baseball real quick. So we got Toronto under 7. Cubs and Cincy, don't know. Keegan Thompson's been pitching good for the Cubs, but I'm leaving that. Philly and the Mets. Zach Wheeler against Bassett. Probably another. I don't know. I don't like it. Let's see if I can find a good one. Atlanta, Miami, no. Baltimore, Tampa. We won with McClanahan yesterday. I'm glad to see he got the win. See, I normally would have locked it, but with all the other pitchers losing, now that the ace won, there you go. They got a pretty good pitcher, but he's 6-4 today. Don't like it. Detroit, Chicago, LA. Oakland, Houston. Let's go under. Let's go Oakland under 7.5. Milwaukee, St. Louis. McCollus was pretty good for St. Louis. Now he's 8-9 with a 3.50. Not as good. Seattle, Texas. We can take. Let's go under in the Texas game. We got a couple of good pitchers there. Under 7.5. Arizona. We had Arizona yesterday, and again, it was like 6-0. And I said, how the hell is it 11.5? And the ace on Arizona shut them out. So there you go.
There's never been a better time to get away. With a great deal on the Hyundai you've always wanted. It's your journey.
Shut up. I hate when these commercials just pop up. Pitt, Frisco. Alex Wood. Mini in LA. Let's go over in the mini LA. You got a couple of dogs pitching over 9. Yankees, Boston let me down. Where's all the runs? 3-2 in Fenway Park with 2 big pitchers. Tail end for the Yankees, 11-2 against Waka. Wow, here we go. Let's go under here. Boston under. If they didn't go over yesterday, they ain't going over today. 9.5. Are you kidding me? With Waka, you got a 2.69 against a 3.95, and the over/under is 9.5. Unbelievable. So we've got 5 games. I don't have a lock. Let's review. Jackson McNichol, 1 bad outing in Colorado for McCollus, inflating ERA. Well, everybody has a bad outing in Colorado, but I think it's more than one. He's pitched a lot of games. 1 bad outing, unless you gave up 20 runs, which I doubt, is that. But, if you like him, take St. Louis today. Here's the recap. Toronto under 7, Oakland under 7.5, Texas under 7.5, Minnesota over 9, Boston under 9.5. Where's my under guy from last week? He wanted an under because he likes unders, and it was all overs, and all the overs won. And he says, I want an under. So there you go. Toronto under, Oakland under, Texas under, Boston under. Now, Boston and the Yankees, they had 2 weak pitchers going, and the over-under was like 8. What was it? It was over 9, and it was 3-2, and you're like, fuck, they didn't get 9 in Fenway Park? Yankees in Boston with 2 big pitchers. Now you got 2 aces on the mound, and the over-under is 9.5. So I'm going to go under this time with the better pitching. Based on the fact they didn't go over yesterday, I'm basing they won't go over today because they're just not hitting. So anyway, that's baseball today. I've given you football, and I've given you economics. So keep your eye open. COMEX has been blown up. They've been proven guilty that they are price fixing. Now, does that mean they're going to keep price fixing? Okay, these guys are out of the loop or not. But I think China and Russia needs the price to go up. The U.S. is too stupid to own gold. They don't believe in it because they're all a bunch of liberal Keynesians. Keynesians are socialist. Austrians are capitalist. I'm a capitalist. And so they just want to print money. And that's all they want to do. And they don't think if they keep printing that there'll be inflation. They think inflation is a rise in prices. So they're going, oh, it's because of COVID. It's because of supply chain issue. They can't get it. So the price went up. No, it's because you're making the price worth less. So it takes more dollars to buy a mouse. Went up because it takes more dollars because you've inflated. I saw for the first time my veggies went up a little bit. What did I buy? I bought like mushroom or eggs were like, well, the eggs weren't too bad. There was something I bought yesterday. Oh, I bought Sloppy Joe mix. Freaking Sloppy Joe mix. So you get 3 pounds, you put it in the thing, you add some water, and then you put the packet in. And the packet went from like $160 to $199. Not a lot, but it was like that. I noticed the brand names, the Oreos, the Cheerios. Those are the little crooks that are raising the price. My cauliflower was 269. It's been 350, so it wasn't bad. Avocado's up a little. Fruit I got on sale for 99, the nectarine. So I'm sitting there baffled, like, what the fuck? I mean, so it's not really hitting the fruits and veggies, the no namers. Where it's hitting is the Oreos and the Cheerio. The companies are the ones taking advantage. And Toyota went up to 30,000 for my Camry. And I just laughed at him like, well, I'll wait till it goes back down to 24. You're not going to sell a Camry at 30. Yes, your cost went up. Doesn't mean you can pass it on to the market. And my last comment is my barbecue place, where I'm talking to the guy going, well, if your ribs go up to $50, you are out of business. You cannot sell them for 50. You cannot make profit on them because the market is not set. I will not go in and buy $50 ribs. And until you understand that, he said, well, I'll have to close the door. I go, well, they're absolutely going to have to close the door. Okay, go ahead and do what you want. And you're going to pay $40 for your ribs and you're going to mark them up, sell them for 45 and see if you have any orders at all. And then you'll realize what I'm telling you, you can't do that. So you either have to figure out a way or stop selling ribs or go buy them from a different source. But as prices go up, quantity goes down. It's normal economics. Anyway, so that's about it. I'll probably be posting like the week 1 footballs. And by that, I mean the 27th game and the 9-1 games this week. I'm chomping at the bit, probably Ohio State. Absolutely love that game. And some of the others that I've just talked about. UTSA Houston's a good one. USC should murder Rice, UCLA. So we'll get into all those, but I'll probably start posting them soon. I want to see if there's any news. Like Nick said, Hartman's out for Wake Forest. Well, Wake doesn't play. They play, Colgate in week 1, so it's not on the line. Anyway, those will be posted. Please go to the site, www.teaserking.com, purchase picks, and it's a PayPal. All you need is a debit and credit. I don't even think you need to be a PayPal person. Just send it to me, and I don't see your information. All I get is an email that Joe Smith has paid for whatever you want to buy. If there's a problem, please let me know, but I'm not aware. I've used PayPal last week. I'm not aware there's a problem with it, but I am getting, what else can I take? And I do not take Cash App. I do take Venmo or money, or we'll have to do MoneyGram, but PayPal should work. So I'm very, I'm not concerned yet, but I will get concerned if people can't pay me with PayPal. Then we'll have to take it off and put Venmo and Cash App or something else. We'll have to link it to. But right now, it goes out to PayPal, and then PayPal, I have my bank account, and then I change it into my bank account. I've never had a problem. So please let me know, but the PayPal should be working. And again, if you're a returning customer, I'm taking a discount on the full season, which is only $7.50, which is a joke. I mean, normally it's $11, but I understand inflation, so I'm trying to give a discount. Otherwise, prices are pretty much the same. There's a college, there's a pro, a weekly, monthly, and yearly, and you can buy just pro or you can buy just college or both. If you buy either one, you get the locks. If there's pro locks, you get the locks in the pros, or college locks. Well, you won't get the college locks. And then if you just want the locks, you can buy the locks. So I have all that out there. All the prices are set, and I'm just right now looking more at college, just because that starts the 27th and today's the 14th. So in 2 weeks we get college football, though it's not the greatest of games, but at least it's live. And then we go to the first Labor Day, and we'll start seeing real ball. All right, everybody, have a great day. Is there any other questions or comments? Please ask. Again, www.teaserking.com, and you'll get my email there. And please email me with questions or comments. I will definitely check my emails a lot and respond. So let me know. I think we covered it all. Again, baseball, Toronto under, Oakland under, Texas under, Minnesota over, Boston under. We do not play preseason football, but we do watch who the quarterbacks are, and I've went through that. You'll just have to check back earlier. The backup quarterbacks. Again, the best ones are Zappy, Brock Purdy, Ellinger, Huntley, Woodside, McSorley, and Trask is very strong from Florida. And the Oregon State running back Baylor is on Green Bay. And I'll check for the other running backs where they ran for 1,600 yards. And then did they get drafted or not? You don't know. Those are key players, especially in the red zone. You need Baylor. Watch Green Bay with Baylor score touchdowns because if you can run, you can score. They can't stop you, but they can stop you from passing because you run out of room. You can't go deep. You can't go to the side. There's no room. But if I can run on you, you can't stop me. It's a touchdown. So anyway, that's what you want to look at. So again, www.teaserking.com. Email me with questions, comments, and again, PayPal should be working. I'm not aware it's not. And then Venmo is my option that I have used, which I very rarely use. But I do get emails. So I know if you PayPal me or Venmo me, I'll see an email. And if you Venmo me, we're not set up to give the password. I'll have to email you the password after you pay me with Venmo. If you have to do MoneyGram, I'll email you with the password once I get the money. Anyway, so we got a few weeks. Questions, let me know. Comments. I am here, and we are going to, I think we got it pretty good. We got the first week down real good, and as we get going, we'll figure out the teams for the upcoming weeks. NFL, it's a mess. All these terrible coaches and terrible quarterbacks. So anyway, we'll keep it going. All right, everybody. Good luck today. If you bet in baseball, enjoy the football, enjoy the weekend. And again, www.teaserking.com is the website. Go to purchase picks, purchase the pick. You'll get a password, and then you go into this week's picks, which are not posted yet because it's too far away. That's how you get the picks, and they're in teaser form. So you'll see game 1, game 2, and then how many units. All right, everybody. Have a great day. Thanks very much. Take care.